5 people to never let into your home if you want to be rich. We all want blessings, success, and financial stability in our homes. But sometimes the very people around us can unknowingly or knowingly block our progress. The Bible warns us about the company we keep because influence is powerful either for good or for destruction. Proverbs 13 verse 20 says, "Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm." If you desire financial breakthrough and God's favor over your home, you must be intentional about who you allow into your space. Here are 5 types of people you should keep at a distance if you want to walk in abundance. 1. The constant complainer. This is a person who walks into your home and immediately starts pointing out what's wrong. Nothing is ever good enough. The weather, their job, their relationships, even the food on the table. They never seem to bring solutions, just an endless stream of problems. These individuals may not realize it, but they are spiritual energy vampires. Their negativity is like a dark cloud that hangs over everything, subtly shifting the atmosphere of your home from peace to tension, from joy to frustration. Think about the Israelites during their journey through the wilderness. Despite witnessing powerful miracles, parted seas, daily manna from heaven, water from rocks, they still chose to focus on what they lacked. In Numbers 14:27, God made it clear that their constant complaining wasn't just annoying. It cost them everything. That generation was denied entry into the promised land because they couldn't shift from a mindset of lack to one of faith. Their complaints literally delayed their destiny. When you allow someone with that same spirit into your personal space, you're inviting seeds of doubt, fear, and ungratefulness to be planted. And where there is no gratitude, provision dries up. Complaining isn't just a bad habit. It's a spiritual toxin. Guard your home, your peace, and your mindset. Surround yourself with people who speak life, who build up, and who point to solutions, not just problems. Because faith thrives in a grateful atmosphere, and gratitude is the gateway to abundance. 2. The dream killer. This person doesn't just doubt your dreams. They make it their mission to shut them down. They roll their eyes when you talk about starting that business. They chuckle when you mention writing a book, launching a brand, or stepping into ministry. Their words are laced with sarcasm masked as realism. But in truth, they're projecting their own fear and insecurity onto your vision. They can't see it for themselves, so they can't see it for you either. Remember the story of David and Goliath in 1 Samuel 17, verse 28. Before David ever stepped onto the battlefield to face the giant, his own brother, Eliab tried to shut him down. He accused David of being prideful, foolish, and unqualified. Think about that. David hadn't even faced his external enemy yet, and already someone from his own house was trying to kill his confidence. That's how dream killers operate. They attack before you even begin, trying to snuff out your light before it can shine. Protect your dreams like seeds. Don't plant them in toxic soil. A dream killer in your home will never build with you. They'll only tear down what you're trying to grow. Choose your circle wisely because your destiny depends on it. 3. The lazy freeloader. We all want to be kind. We want to help people. But there's a difference between helping someone and carrying someone who refuses to move. The lazy freeloader is that person who shows up empty-handed, but always leaves with something. They never contribute, yet they expect to benefit from your hard work, your home, your energy, and your resources. They'll call it friendship or family loyalty, but in reality, it's entitlement. Proverbs 20 verse 4 gives us a clear warning. A sluggard does not plow in season. So at harvest time, he looks but finds nothing. In other words, if someone refuses to put in the work during planting season, they shouldn't expect to share in the harvest. But the freeloader wants your harvest without the hustle. And worse, their presence can kill your drive. When you see someone lounging while you're grinding, it starts to wear on your spirit. It makes you question why you're pushing so hard when others are coasting off your effort. Yes, the Bible calls us to be generous and compassionate. We are to help the poor, lift up the weak, and support one another in love. But it also tells us not to be unequally yoked, not just in marriage, but in any close relationship. When someone consistently refuses to take responsibility for their own life and expects you to carry their burden without lifting a finger, that's not partnership. That's parasitism. 4. The envious hater. This one's tricky because they don't always come with open hostility. In fact, sometimes they smile when you succeed, but it never quite reaches their eyes. The envious hater is the one who claps for you in public, but curses your name in private. They're uncomfortable with your glow, irritated by your blessings, and silently hoping for your failure just so they can feel better about their own lack. This isn't new. Envy has been poisoning relationships since the beginning of time. In Genesis 4, ES 5-8, Cain's heart turned dark because God favored Abel's offering. Instead of looking inward, instead of asking how he'd grow or do better, Cain let jealousy consume him. And what started as bitterness turned deadly. He murdered his own brother. That's the power of unchecked envy. It can live right next to you, eat at your table, and still plot your downfall. Envy is dangerous because it's often disguised as harmless insecurity or tough love. But in truth, it's a silent enemy. It breeds gossip, betrayal, and sabotage. And the more you elevate, the more uncomfortable, envious people become. They don't want your light to shine too bright because it highlights what they refuse to address in their own lives. That's why you must protect your peace like it's sacred, because it is. If someone can't genuinely celebrate your wins, they have no business being close to your journey. You need people in your space who will lift you up, not secretly hope you fall. Distance yourself from envious hearts because peace, success, and favor flourish in an atmosphere of genuine support. 5. The bad influence. Sometimes it's not the loud enemy outside your gates, but the quiet voice on your couch leading you down the wrong path. The bad influence doesn't always look dangerous. They may come off as fun, spontaneous, or just keeping it real. But little by little, they pull you off track, tempting you into reckless spending, luring you with get-rich-quick schemes, or even draw you into sinful habits that erode your purpose and peace. The Bible is clear in 1 Corinthians 15, verse 33. Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. That means no matter how strong you think you are, the people around you will shape you for better or worse. You cannot afford to let just anyone speak into your life, especially when you're walking toward purpose. The wrong voice at the wrong time can delay your destiny or even derail it entirely. The right people will sharpen you, support you, and help unlock the greatness God placed inside you. You're closer than you think. Don't let the wrong crowd block what heaven has already prepared.